Hey guys, it's Easy. Welcome to Striker Industries. First of all, do not share this video with anyone. It's strictly proprietary information to Striker Industries. If I see views skyrocketing, I'll remove it and then nobody gets to enjoy it. It's just for Striker pilots, eyes only, as a courtesy, because we want you to make some money. As with all our secrets and techniques, we want the other guys out there in the galaxy doing it wrong. Do you like money? If not, just quit watching this video because you're probably even playing the wrong video game, to be honest with you. PI is passive income. More than 30 minutes a day, and you're doing it wrong, in my opinion. It's supposed to be strictly click, 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 and you're done making money all the time, even when you're not playing the game. Which is the way to go. Especially living in wormhole space, because we have the greatest, richest planets in the entire game, and this is the money maker. I like this plasma planet, and I'm going to show you why. Bear with me, this is a little bit tedious, but once you do it the first time, you never have to do it again. So, we need pilots able to afford good ships to fly so they can fight alongside us. We're only as strong as our weakest link in a fleet combat, usually. And for that, you need money. You need the Eskies. Alright, I'm just going to talk you through my method here. Needed skills for PI. What you need is, this is my alt Loki Jotunsen. He's my hole filler factory planet guy. You need advanced planetology to 4, at least. Preferably 5 if you don't mind the 21-day train. Interplanetary consolidation. Every single planet is roughly an extra 7 million a day. So there's no reason not to have that at 5 and run 6 planets. Command center upgrades, you need it to 5, because with my method, you're going to be using every bit of power grid and CPU you have at your command center. Planetology, you need that to 4, at least 4, or 5 if you don't mind the train as well. Remote sensing, it makes you train at the 3. You're going to be doing all your stuff within the same solar system like I do, so don't worry about training it any higher than that because it's useless in wormholes, other than just the requirement to train advanced planetology. Now, you also need the Galantia industrial skill. I recommend getting that to 4. As you can see, I've only got it to 3, but most of my guys have to 4. Now, you also need shield skills if you are worried about getting jumped in PI. I like to just take everything to 4. This guy's just for hauling PI. He's not going to be in combat or anything unless he just gets jumped, and then it's honestly your fault if you let yourself get jumped, but Charles Darwin will teach you lessons like that. Anyway, you see, just get this alt. He's only got 3.5 million skill points. That's literally maybe a month and a half of training, or just 6 or 7 skill injectors, and then he's making money for you for the rest of your life. Now, I am going to close that, and you'll see that I've already placed my command center because this was actually a functional planet, but I ripped it apart just for you. I want you to see how we build these planets. The command center only serves as one function, and that's to generate power grid and CPU for your factory facilities, and it's going to serve as a focus point. So once you click on a planet right here, it's going to take you straight to your, even though your facility's over here, or way over here on the other side of the planet. So put your command center somewhere nearby, just for convenience sake. As you can see, and go back to the plasma planet, puts me right there on that, okay? Now, also, the reason I didn't, one thing I forgot to tell you, you need an epithal. Epithals are dirt cheap. I shield tank them, and I run an inertial stab and 3 workhorse stabilizers. Just one of these costs 15.8 million. It's not expensive ship at all. Tech 1 rigs, there's no reason to bling these things out. They're throwaway ships if you lose them. I've never lost one using my method, but it's up to you. And I only like to do 3 workhorse stabs because one thing is going to keep you from getting pointed when you're on a customs office. And if anybody has more points than that, they clearly have enough to stop an epithal anyway. So I like to have an inertial stab to get me aligned a lot quicker away from the customs office. That's my method. Feel free to experiment with your own. Now, for the actual building of the planet, you need to decide what you want to do as far as what you want to build. And when you join Striker, I sent you several PDFs. Ignore those at your own peril or at your own financial non-well-being, whatever, because this is vital information that I've sent you. This is going to show you how to make money. The other things are going to show you how to survive. Money and survival, important things in Eve. Now, I'm not going to go through all the details of this. You and I, we can set time aside and work together on how to do this. If you want me to build you a spreadsheet for you, we'll talk about a price. I mean, I've got my own spreadsheet here. Let's just close this. And I've got everything planned out. As you can see, I make roughly $5 billion a month, and I produce 3 P4s an hour with my setup. And I've got everything categorized down to the bare math and everything. I've got planet assignments for all my characters. And yeah, this method right here that I'm about to show you, over 6 planets, and that's one character. One character can run 6 planets. Building 6 of these worlds will net you about 40 million a day, which is enough to plex. Now, let's get started on building this planet. What you need to do is actually scan for what you're trying to build. And in this case, we want to make transmitters, okay? Actually, wait, no, we want to make enriched uranium, which requires heavy metal and noble metals. That PDF I just showed you will show you how to know all that. I've just memorized it. Now, I've got my command center in a pretty good spot. And, yep, you see how I have white spots on both sides of the command center? That means extractors are going to be pulling from both of those spots. I'm going to build the factory complex first. So what you need to do is build a spaceport. Spaceports are the beating heart of any planet. You're going to need to set aside maybe 7 million-esque for production cost in building these planets each. Alright, there's the launch pad. What do we need after the launch pad? We need extractors. And I'm just going to place this one right here and click submit. Always click submit. Now, scans, noble metals. You're going to, and you notice you don't actually have to connect your command center to anything. We're going to do noble metals. You got to click that right there for that. And then you want to pull roughly 864,000 units over a 2-day period. 864,000. This matches the regeneration rate of the planet, and it keeps you from over-harvesting. As you can see, I'm pulling roughly 1 million. And you want to install the program. But before you click submit up here, you want to check the program again. Open that back up, because this number can change as much as 20% with my skills, which is Advanced Planetology 4 and Planetology 4. Now, you don't need that much. You're pulling too much. So you can just remove one extractor head, install the program again. Check it again. 904,000. It's close enough to 864,000, so you're good there. Now, if you hold the control key, you can, oops. If you hold the control key and click on your extractor, it'll pull up the link. And you just want to link it to your Launchpad and click submit. Now, link is just half the work. You need to actually route that to the Launchpad so it'll store it there. Now, here's the easy way. You can double click this. Click, click, and it'll ask you about where you want to send it. You want to double click the Launchpad and click submit. Now, as you can see, this is running a 2-day cycle, and it's generating roughly 18,000 units an hour, 904,000, and it's shipping every bit of it to the Launchpad. That's exactly what you want. Now, you need to also build another extractor, and this one's for the heavy metals. And I'm just going to kind of put this out here to cover as much of that white as I possibly can. And I'll go ahead and just do my links really quick since I've already explained that. And heavy metals. And you want to set it for 2 days. Oops. Alright. As you can see, that's a bit much that we're pulling in right there. And as you put it over the white, you'll see that number just start to climb right here. Because the white is the hot spots. That's the best spots to put it on. Now you still want to install your program once, just to see what the number's at. Because see how it went down there a little bit? But taking one away puts it to 808,000. You want to get as close to 864,000 as you can. So we're just going to drag this over a mediocre spot with the 5th extractor there. And yeah, I'm kind of the Bob Ross of PI, I know. It's a happy little extractor. It's your world. Alright. Now, 864,000 is what you need. You're pulling in 886. After you check the program the second time, you can click submit. Now, you need to go to your products there, double click to route, click submit. Both of your P0s are now routed into that Launchpad. Now, you got to build something from it. So we're going to start with the basic processors. And I like to do the bow tie formation. It helps me easily track the routing once you're building. You're just going to build 3 of these for each one of your P0s. As you can see, you need command center upgrades to 5. Otherwise, you're kind of pissing into the wind. Okay? And you can click submit. Those factories are going to build stuff for you, but you got to build your links and route the materials first. So control, and you're wanting your links to be as short as possible because they take up CPU. As you can see, I'm putting everything very close together. And you want to click submit. Now what we need to do is take these materials as they come into here and route them into here. But you don't actually have to wait for these things to complete. What you can do is open that up and click your routes. Let's make this, oops, going to create the routes, and sometimes the interface gets in the way. Oh, I haven't installed the schematics yet, so that's my bad. You need to install your schematics. Heavy metals makes toxic metals, as you can see here. So you're wanting to do that. Submit. You can hit T to do it more quickly, hit T to do it more quickly, and click submit. And we're going to make precious metals from the noble metals. P to do it more quickly, P to do it more quickly, and P to do it more quickly. Now, that sets up your P1 factories. As you can see, they're empty right now. Now let's do our routing. You've built your links. Good. Now, heavy metals, you need to create the route. Create the route. Heavy metals, create the route. The more methodical you are with this, the easier it'll be to track your systems. Alright, now as you can see, those blue dots are tracking and showing where these go. And an easy way to double check your routes is to, as you can see, I screwed up there and forgot to send it to that factory as well. The blue dots are traveling. If it travels to every factory, you're good. One easy way to look at that is open up your routes, and you should have 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. As you can see, the numbers travel and show the percentage of the link you're using. Now, you want to do the same thing for the other side. Noble metals, create. Noble metals, create. Noble metals, create route. Cool. Now, you can click submit. As you can see, your extractors, Launchpad sending it to the P1 factories. Now the P1 factories, they need to be routed as well. So each one of those you want to go to the products and route them back to the Launchpad. Open that up, products, toxic metals. Open that up, products, toxic metals, and click submit. Now as you can see, each of these are now sending products back to the Launchpad. But over here, you don't have it going both ways, so you still need to send all that back to the Launchpad. Oops. It's easy to double do actions. Alright. Good. Now, you have your P0s going to the pad, making P1s, and going back to the pad. Now you need to make a P2 from it. So you want to build 3 plasma advanced industry facilities. And this is what I'm talking about with the bow tie formation. Not because it's really saving you a lot of resources, but more that it's just easier to track and make sure you routed everything. As you can see, everything flowing between all the spots. Click submit. Now, since we're going to make enriched uranium, hit E, go to your enriched uranium, hit E, go to your enriched uranium, and hit E and go to your enriched uranium. Click submit. Now, you need to do your control key to your Launchpad to link each one of these factories to the Launchpad. Okay. Now, with the Launchpad, you need to feed these factories. So let's stretch this out to make it a little easier to use. Okay, and you're just going to create a route of the precious metals and toxic metals to each one of these factories because each of them requires 2 P1s. You're going to create the route and go to that. As you can see, that one's got stuff feeding into it, and this one's got nothing feeding into it. So you need to repeat those steps. Precious metals, create route, there. Create route. precious metals, create route, there. Each one of these now has precious metals being fed into it, but there's a second material for it. So toxic metals now. Create route for the toxic metals, create route. Create route for the toxic metals, create route. And last step, create route. Okay. And then you just click submit. Now, that's next to the last step there. What you need to do is route these materials. Click your enriched uranium, send it back to the launch pad. Click your enriched uranium, send it to the launch pad. Whoops, accidentally. And click your enriched uranium, send it back to the launch pad. This planet is literally done now. You have to do nothing else for the next 2 days except come back in the next 2 days and turn it back on. You never have to build that again. And over 6 characters, this method will make you quite a bit of money. Well, 6 planets. I run 4 characters. That's a total of 24 worlds, just like this one, and each one makes a completely different P2. And those 6 P2s get routed into my factory worlds. Tomorrow, you'll come back to this planet, and it'll be full of enriched uranium, and you can sell that to myself. You can sell it to K. You can sell it to Relic. And they use it to make use it to make fuel for our posses and our citadels. That's a good way to make money. With, let's see here. All right. Now, you'll notice that I'm not overtaxing the planet. If you pull up too much at a time, it'll trump the regeneration rate of the planet. And you'll end up having to actually rebuild this entire factory facility over again, which is tedious and bleed from the nose boring. You don't want to do that any more than you have to. So 18,000 per hour, 18,000 per hour, and even with 6 characters doing this, I still haven't damaged the regeneration rate of the factory. Train up each one of your slots on your character for your account, and each character with 6 planets will pull you in 40 million a day. That's 120 million a day per account that you have. That's a really good income, especially for somebody who's really new at the game. Now, as you can see, there was a fair amount of production costs that go into this. Transactions, load, well, journal, shit, I always forget. As you can see, I spent maybe 6-7 million building this world right here. It's really not that much money. But as I said, this world's done. You can just leave it alone. Go have fun. Do what you think is fun. You don't have to do anything. This is literally making money 24 hours a day, even when you're not online. And if you open up your things, you can set it for 2 weeks if you want to. 2 days to me is the optimal. And that's really the biggest thing is. Now, with the release of this video, I sent out a mail about items that I will personally buy. My name's Ezekiel Amann. I'll purchase those items at 80% of the G to buy price. And the reason it's 80% instead of 100% is I'm doing the shipping, so I'm tipping myself a little bit. If you don't like that, feel free to ship it yourself. No hard feelings. Thanks for watching. I hope this video helps you. If you want to learn how to turn these P2s into a factory world, I'll do that in a later video, but just this one planet right here is going to make you 7 million a day. If you do it over 6 planets, 6 times 7 is 42 million. But of course you're paying taxes, so we're going to estimate roughly 38-40 million a day. And that's per character. And you can do 3 characters per your account. Anyway, later guys, let me know if you have any thoughts or questions. I'll be happy to answer them. Bye. Alright, and we're back 24 hours later. I just want to show you the planet that you built with me. And we come back, check the launch pad, and oh, there's 375 units of enriched uranium being pooped out from that. And as you can see, your factories and extractors are still churning. Cool. Now, the only thing that ever leaves the planet with my method is the P2. So you're just gonna launch from this. I'm outside the Fortizar right here, and you just right click that, open the Access Customs office, and you can drag that enriched uranium to there and pay the transfer fee, which is 4%. That's standard corp tax. And 375 units of enriched uranium selling for 12,902 G to buy price times 12,902. You've made 4.8 million, and you were probably asleep for most of that time. That's 4.8 million is not a lot of money by itself, but when you do this over several characters and 6 planets each, you can see how it snowballs into something very, very significant. Anyway, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching.